What is the wisdom here? The wisdom is, as you pursue money, as you pursue gold, avoid the following things. I just want to mention the specific things that a lot of us today are the things that lead us and trap us into debt. Okay? Avoid credit cards from the bank. Okay? Avoid a credit card. Now the banks, that's how they make their money. They want you, because once they give you a credit card and you spend the money, you now work for them. That's exactly how the bank system works. Okay? All of us who owe money to the bank, we work for the bank. Every morning when I go to work, I'm going to work so that I can pay the bank. When I come at the end of the month, they don't even wait. When the date comes, the first of the month, whatever the date is, they take their money. You probably have heard of the machinistas. When I grew up, I used to visit my brother where he was working at a factory. And on payday, there's a guy who used to be a machinista for all the workers there. So he will come there and he will stand with the guy it is the time when people used to be paid in cash, in envelopes, with your name is written on the outside and your money is inside. Okay, that was the time before ATMs and the bank cards and stuff like that. So this guy will come on payday, and so when it's pay time, when people are supposed to be paid, he will stand with the pay clerk who's issuing the monies for people. He's the one who receives your envelope. He has his record of how much you owe him. He takes the envelope, open it, take his money, and he gives you what is left. And he did that for everyone. And then after he has done that, some people, he took the whole envelope because they owed him more than they were earning. And then they will go, after that, he'll then go and set up his own desk. And then they'll queue to borrow money again from him for the month because they have nothing left to live on. So those people were literally working for this guy. Every month, they all come to work. End of the month, he's the one who collects the paycheck, and then he gives them what they need to live on, and he keeps the rest. And the banks are doing the same thing with their credit cards. When they give you a credit card, they're not doing you a favor. A credit card is not a favor. Debt is not a favor. They're entrapping you so that you work for them. So you don't want to get into credit cards. Even if they send you a letter to say you have been pre-qualified, pre-approved for a credit card of X number or with so much a credit, don't take it. Avoid going into that. And if you already have one, once again, remember what we said earlier, get out of it. Pay up your credit card, cut it up, cancel the deal, and don't go back. Okay? The second one is the retail store cards. And these are driven by our pursuit for glory, our pursuit for fame, our pursuit for honor. We want to look good, and therefore we want to buy these expensive clothes in Edgar's or any of these retail shops. So we go to them and say, and they are happy. As soon as you have a pay slip, they say you are working and you get money into an account, they can see that there's so much money that comes into account and they think you can afford to pay, they will give you the clothes. And if they realize that you are paying every month successfully, they increase your credit. And they'll send you a letter to say, now you qualify for double the credit you used to have. Now you can buy for 10,000 rand. Now you can buy for 20,000 rand. And the more you're able to pay, the more they give you more credit. Because where they want you is at the point where you cannot borrow anymore. Because they don't want you to have any money for yourself. They want all the money you have to be there to service their debt, to pay them. And that's why every time they see that you are paying your debts successfully every month, they increase your credit. And they'll increase it until the point where you begin to struggle to pay. Then they stop giving you more credit. So avoid the retail store cards. Don't go and buy clothes on credit. Don't do that. Don't go eat out on credit, on your credit card. Okay? Don't buy on hire purchase. You know what hire purchase is? Hire purchase is you buy furniture on credit and you pay it over 24 months or 36 months. While you're paying for it, it belongs to the shop. And if you stop paying, they can come and collect it. Don't do that, okay? Save up and go and buy it. Because in the process, you're gonna save yourself 50% of what you're gonna pay if you do it on hire purchase. Because with interest, you're always going to pay 50 to 60, 70% more than what you could have paid if you paid cash. And over time, over 10 years, if you realize all the things you bought on credit and the 50% interest that you've been paying on those items, okay? If you earned R1 million over 10 years, half of that money you paid for nothing. And in 10 years, you could be having 500,000 that you didn't pay on interest to anybody. And that is why these are bad ideas. Personal loans, okay? Or mashonisa loans. Don't do that. Don't do it. If you can afford to scrape around for the rest of the month instead of going to mashonisa, rather do that. If your friends are going to laugh at you for being broke, whatever, rather live with that. Don't try to be famous. Don't try to be respected because you are not broke, and you're not broke because you borrowed money. Don't go into debt because you just want to be seen to be having money. When you don't have money, you don't have money. There's no shame in not having money. We're not born with money. It's something that we work to get.